Ich habe mich gestern von Vega V2 coachen lassen. Der ist mittlerweile Coach bei Cloud9, war davor bei einigen Orgas in Europa, unter anderem auch bei Fnatic unterwegs. Mittlerweile ist er eigentlich so das Aushängeschild, was Coaching angeht in der League of Legends Szene. Kostet einen Haufen Geld. Ich glaube, normalerweise zahlst du $150 pro Session. Ja, hat es momentan seinen Weihnachtspreis, deswegen habe ich nur 130 gezahlt. Ich hatte letztes Jahr auch schon mal seinen Patreon abonniert, wo man die vorherigen Coaching-Sessions anschauen kann. Er macht auch Tierlisten, er macht super viel Educational Content. Kann euch das nur empfehlen. Ich wünsche euch viel Spaß beim Zuschauen. Wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, lasst gerne einen Daumen und ein Abo da und wir hören uns. Viel Spaß. Like, this isn't even my main account. Like, I used to have another account where I have had my peaks like in the last 2 seasons. But this account was spotted and I got invited to League Partner Program and I sent it and yeah,
of
they
course.
went. I had to drop it.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
I mean, champ pool wise, it's the same, and I didn't really change playstyle, so.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, right off the bat, obviously you like hooks, you like Fresh, Blitzcrank, Nautilus, these type of champs. Only one really missing, Pyke.
Yeah, I hate Pyke. Disgusting players, base, but and champion.
Why?
No front.
It's too
Nah,
cheesy?
I don't know. Nah, Pyke is my nemesis. I even with Rakan, I'm struggling to play against Pyke. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that shouldn't be so hard because if he hooks, you can E away.
Yeah, but I'm always losing against Pyke. I already thought about banning him as well, but the pick rate isn't that high, so it doesn't make sense. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else you like to play?
Yeah, I think like I'm becoming a Thresh one trick again, but this is just. I mean, in Korea, I only had really the feeling I can carry only with Thresh. So I dropped kind of some of the other champions. But I used to play a lot of Bard on my other account, like when I peaked like 700 LP. I think that's why I peaked that high. Yeah, but that's it. I played some Renata as well, but she's kind of coin flip, and I used to int with her a lot as well. But yeah, I think mostly it's just Thresh, Rakan, Bard, like these 3.
So, okay. So, main thing I would say, like, when I look at this champ pool, right? Because the thing about champ pools is, like, if you're purely a solo queue player, then we can say, it doesn't matter, just one-trick Bard, you know?
Yeah,
you'll climb. Like you said, you got, like, 700 LP, right, with Bard. And I totally believe that, because Bard is really strong. Like, me personally, like, I really like Pyke and Bard. I think these champs are completely insane in solo queue if you're good at the champions, you know? I think they're so OP. For solo queue. Like, Pyke is really strong in lane and has so much map pressure and so much pressure without doing anything. Like, you can go to mid, press W and just look for pink wards, and enemy mid has to be careful, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane pressure. So my main problem when I look at your champ pool is that I'm also viewing it from, like, competitive standpoint too, right? Because you guys are going to be playing on team 2, right? So
yes.
As a support, the main thing I feel like you aren't really covering here is that you lack a lot of engage. Like you mentioned, Rakan, which is like, yeah, you can engage sometimes, but like you're lacking Rel, for example, which I think is a very strong champ. I know she got like some nerfs, but this champion is still really strong, and her kit is like, there's no other kit than her. Like, if you want engage right now, look at the champions, like, there is not any engage compared to Rel, you know what I mean?
Yes, true.
So, Rel is lacking. I think for disengage, so this is how I view drafting as a support, right? So, when I think, okay, disengage, I think Renata, I think Fresh, I think Alistar, I think Braum, you know? I think Tahm Kench. These are the champions that I think of when I think, okay, I need to get disengage. So when I would want disengage would be if we have a draft where we outrange. So for example, No Way, right? He likes to play like Seraph, for example, right?
Yes.
So if he's playing like Seraph and you guys just simply outrange, maybe have like a Seraph Jinx or whatever, then champions like Fresh will feel really good. Like, I like Fresh, but I also hate Fresh, because I think Fresh is super good versus like Jarvan, Hecarim, these type of things. Fresh is so fucking good when your team can just frontline. Like, when your AD carry can frontline, Fresh is really good. Because your AD carry just stands there, pew 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 with Jinx, and then takes Lantern, and she's fine. But when Fresh has to do stuff, that's when I think Fresh is bad. So what I mean by that is, like, Fresh can't be engaged. Fresh hook is the worst hook in my opinion out of all the supports. I think it's way too hard to hit, and he has like no engage, and he also lacks the follow-up CC and damage really. Sometimes in early game he has damage with his box, but later he has only his hook, whereas Nautilus has hook and then his chain into the fucking ulti, right? So Fresh is a disengage champion, not really engage. So these are great champs for this. There's of course some niche champs, like there's Janna, right, for disengage too. But I am personally of the opinion that every time I could play Janna, I feel like Renata is just better.
I agree.
But maybe sometimes you go 4-5 and they ban Renata, and maybe then you would want Janna. But I think if you can play these, or at least 4 of them, I would say Tahm Kench is the lowest prior right now. But to add on this, we have different types of engage comps, right? We have like lockdown engage. What I mean by that is like this.
Yes.
Right? This is like Omega unskilled. And so here, Fresh as disengage isn't as good. You would want more Tahm Kench, you know? Where you just ulti the guy getting ulted. You know? Or maybe Alistar can like knock Arya away when Vi goes in, right? You need more hard disengage. Whereas Fresh is super good versus more like soft engage. Does that make sense?
Yes, understood.
So Tahm is very unique, and you like, if I was to ask you to learn 20 champions, that would be way too much, obviously. So if some of these you still need to learn, like Alistar, then I would put Tahm Kench at like the bottom of prio. You already know Fresh and Renata, you said.
Yeah.
So I would probably go right now like this, probably. But I think Braum is super strong in good Braum games. You know?
Yeah.
Braum can also be better than Alistar in lane. But yeah, this is how I view like disengage. And you have some like mixed classes, I would call it. Like that's where Rakan comes in, because Rakan can kind of do a lot of things. You can engage, but you can also disengage. Whereas Rel, it's like you're going in or you're doing nothing. You know?
Yeah.
So Rel, you gotta make sure that enemy team doesn't have a team comp like this. You know?
Yeah. Because
you're playing Rel here, it's gonna be really cringe, or like this.
Yeah, Poppy. Yeah.
Like this is gonna be really painful for Rel. So if you early pick Rel, maybe, I don't know if Agharim plays it, but maybe it's like a flex pick or whatever, and you end up playing it, then you gotta make sure that you have now range elsewhere. Because if you now end up with hard dive commit here, Rel will be shit, right?
Yes. Yes.
But you'll have games where they don't have all of these things, and your top side ends up being hard engaged. So in your case, a classic would be this, right? And then mid just, I don't know, just playing something divey or Orianna Ball or something. If this happens, right, you are kind of forced to play something like Rel in most cases. Sometimes you can do Kalista Renata, but that again depends kind of what they pick sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're forced to pick something like Rel, I think, if your team needs to engage. Usually I have a rule that if your team comp is this, you can't just change it. You know what I mean? You can't just have 3 champs that dive in and then on 4-5 start to change the team comp. Like you can't just now pick a range support.
No, and then you keep going like dive.
Yeah,
just
you have to commit.
Yeah.
Like if only this happens, you can still change. You can go Nocturne Seraph, you know? You can still end up with range comp. But if you've committed now 3 champs, then your job as a support, you need to be able to enable this to work. That's the problem I see with your champ pool, because only really Nautilus does that. Like Blitzcrank is not engage. Like
no,
it's just hook. It's just a hook, and it's just if like Blitzcrank is good if hooking either support or AD, they'll both die. You know?
Yeah, that was actually my champion pool was like a huge issue we had last year when we tried to promote to Division 1, because like it was full on Nautilus meta, Nautilus Leona, and I never played these 2 champions in solo queue before. Like I was even playing some any support, like it was really strong back then, and I was forced to pick it, and I ran like half of playoffs. I went 0-7 every single game. And then like had 1-2 coaches help me as well.
Like,
I
said
it was
these
a huge issue.
These champs, they just go in, and then you just die. So if you're bad at them and you don't see the right angles,
I lost so many games for us. It was really cringe.
So like those type of champs is Rel, Amumu, and like you said, Leona. Like these champions, you must know, is this angle good? Because when you're going in, there is no getting out, you know? So yeah, I noticed that like immediately when I looked at your champ pool, it's like that's what worries me when you're playing on a team, because you can't, like, sometimes you can draft around it, and you guys should probably draft around it by trying to, like, avoid it, but what do you do if all of a sudden a patch happens and your team is really fucked by it, you know?
Yeah.
What do you do if your mid and top and jungle, their best champions is champions that work with these? Should 4 players adapt because of one guy? That doesn't make sense, right? So
not really, yeah.
So I would try to focus on that. Again, biggest prio for me would be Rel, because I think she's just the strongest right now. So yeah, and I think already Rel and Nautilus will go a long way.
Yeah, I really have to pick them up.
But on the disengage front, you do seem to do well, but I would try Alistar and Braum, because I do think those champs can be really, really good.
Yep.
So yeah, and I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not too familiar with your top and AD, but at least your mid and jungle I know is really good, and so then champions like Bard, like you said, you got high LP with it in solo queue. Playing a champion like Bard with a jungler like Agarin and mid like No Way would make sense too in some drafts, I think.
Played it sometimes. I think we also already played it in DOS as well.
How did that
it
go?
worked partially. I mean, my ADC wasn't really happy. Agrin was really happy.
Yeah,
so we had some different voices in Champ Select every time we were talking about Bard. But yeah, I think DOS is something else as well, like with the Champ Select format.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing about Bard is, as long as everyone's on the same page and you guys have a plan around the champion, it'll work really good. Like, you just need to make sure that your ADC is playing something that can live by himself within the draft. So things like Ezreal.
I think we played a lot of
Ziggs
back then as well.
Ziggs. Like, Ezreal works great, Ziggs works great, even Caitlyn is fine, because you with Bard, and I think even some LCK bot lane started to learn this as well in LPL. They figured this out too, that you can play Caitlyn with Bard, because with the health packs and stuff, she can kind of just 1v2, you know? And you play less as a lane bully Caitlyn. You play more just to wave clear and 1v2, because she's really good at that, like in lane. And then Bard will win you the map. Like, Bard will win you the map. It's that simple. So if the draft needs you to win the map, then picking Bard is the best champion for that. It's literally designed to troll around on the map and just hit enemy mid, you know? Just walk up to him and just Q him and hit him 3 times, you know? So
what do you think about Sivir? Like in this case with Bard?
I have like 500 games of Sivir. I used to like 1-tricker ADC when I was climbing ADC, and I think right now the champ is quite bad compared to what she used to be.
Yeah.
But Sivir, my take is also that Sivir will always do her job, you know? Like, Sivir can always wave clear. But before, she could wave clear and carry. These days, it's like, she can wave clear, but she's not gonna, like, carry as she used to. She's gonna deal some damage. Of course, she's an AD carry, but Sivir is not gonna pop off like a Jinx late game, you know? In my opinion. She can stall the game, and for sure, it's something to consider. Jhin as well can work some games.
True, I think we played Jhin as well,
Yeah. It's just, these are the type of ADCs I would want with Bard. I don't want really something like Aphelios or Samira or Kai'Sa. I think Ashe can work. I think Kalista, for the same reason as Caitlyn, can work. But I would try to stick to like Ashe, Jhin, Ezreal, Ziggs, Caitlyn, these type of things with Bard. But yeah, I think Bard should make sense for your guys' team at least. But yeah. So like I said, for champ pool, I would focus more on engage, a couple more disengage champs. I think having a champion like Blitzcrank in your pool is really fucking good, because it's kind of like a checkmate in some drafts, because especially in like this level of tournament play where people have kind of limited champ pools, right? You're gonna have some support players that strictly play range champs, right? They only play Karma, they only play Nami, they only play Lulu, they only play Melio. And so if you play stuff like Blitzcrank, then that's
you just farm them.
So fucking free win. You know?
Yeah.
You can even, like, you don't even hook, you just fucking flash knockup, right? So, that's great. Only other thing then is, like, in some metas and some matchups, you really want to pick something like this, and then you want an Ashe support, or a Senna support. How do you do on that front?
I played a lot of Ashe, like, when she was really strong last year. And I quite enjoyed it. I really hated playing against it. I really disliked the support meta back then. But I played some Ashe support, and we even played it in Prime League. So yeah. I would pick her all day.
Yeah, because I think that's something that can easily return. It all just depends how important it is to win bot lane, because just like how I said, some drafts, because this is the thing about drafting, and it works like this for every role. Some drafts are just won, and you just need something. What I mean by that is, sometimes bot matchup is just won, and you know bot lane will win, and so your mid just has to pick TF or Ryze, and just push and roam to bot.
Yeah.
That's the case sometimes. Sometimes jungle and mid is just won, and you just gotta make sure bot lane can win too, right? And then you just fucking lock in Draven Ashe or whatever. And you just get fucking 4 Drakes and just win the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes top side is won, but you can't win bot lane and you just go fucking Bard. So everyone needs to kind of learn this, like when that gets kind of triggered in the draft. Because those type of games, if your mid and jungle is just hard winning, and you see an angle to go Ashe with Kalista or whatever, and you have winning mid and winning jungle, then you can just die bot lane 4 times and the game is over at 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So you need to kind of like learn to realize that, and that's when I think Ashe or Kalista support or Senna support and these type of things can work. Heimerdinger support goes in the same category. These type of champs, they're mainly just for winning lane. Ashe and Heimer specifically, they scale a bit better than stuff like Kalista and Caitlyn support. After laning phase, Kalista's main purpose as a support is her ulti. That alone can be a strong ability. In the past, for example, some people would draft Kalista support just because of Vi being meta, you know?
Okay, to save your carry from Vi.
So they would win lane with Kalista, and then they wouldn't mind that it gets outscaled that much, because you would just press R on your AD carry. That's
you disable enemy hard engage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's something to consider. That champ is a lot harder than the others. So I would for sure focus on Ashe and Senna the most. I'm just throwing out ideas that are good.
Yeah. Actually, I really never thought about playing Kalista support myself. Like, I saw it, like, Carrier play it and then LPL, LCK, but I never considered it playing myself. Like, would you actually pick it in solo queue as well? Or only in competitive?
Well, I would if I'm good, yeah, at it.
Okay, because, yeah, I mean, but...
You're gonna win lane really hard. And I'm sure your ADC would love to win lane.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
But it's like, it just depends. How good do you think you are at laning? Because you can win games from winning
I don't
lane.
think Kalista is something for me. Like, mechanically, I'm really terrible. Like, and it's enough for like something like Senna or Ashe, but I don't think like I'm good enough for Kalista.
Yeah, I mean that's your choice to make, right? Like, I don't know. I haven't seen you play yet. We're about to, but I don't know, right? So I'm just saying like what works and what is good, and some players can't play certain things. You know, like it's just what it is. I think most pro supports, when Kalista support was meta, they were just banning it. Like in C9, for example, right? We had Svenna support, and people were just banning Kalista both sides versus us. Like, they did not want to even play against it, and they didn't want to play as it. So I think only one team the whole year picked Kalista support against us. So, like, you know, it's not something you should feel bad about. Like, I think you should feel bad that you didn't play like Rel and stuff and engage.
Yeah.
I think that's really bad. I think not being able to play Kalista support is like kind of whatever, you know. It's good. It's just drafts,
a niche, and
it's a niche, but there's other picks that could work similarly, but you would lose the ulti part, right? So like Senna and Ashe, they would work in those cases too, but then if you're playing that against like a Vi, you would wish that your support maybe played Kalista, because then you could still win lane, but then you would have Kalista ulti for after lane. Yeah, whereas Ashe and Senna, they get farmed by Vi later.
Yeah.
That's like the only problem there. Except for that, I don't think there's anything else to like talk about for supports. Like Enchanters right now, in my opinion, are kind of dead, because I think the likes of Seri and stuff is not so strong. So I don't see much point in them. In general, the way you should view all of the different Enchanters is that Lulu and Karma are really strong in lane when played really well. Janna is a bit more scaling. I know that they still made her lane a bit better now, but in general, Janna and Lulu, like Lulu is mainly going to be strong in lane. Soraka as a champion can be really strong if she's played with poke. Like Soraka Ezreal is actually a pretty good combo, because they just push all the time, and then poke with Soraka Q. Sona is more of a scaling option, mainly to match Yumi when she's meta. In general, if you're having like Sona, you would want to have like very melee heavy team. You know, like maybe like a Silas mid, like a melee jungle, melee top, because you want people to stay in the aura, right? You want your team to be frontline.
Yeah.
So if you're playing Sona with a bunch of range champs, it's pretty bad. Because they will like scatter around, they won't stand with each other, and if all range champs are standing with each other, then Sona is kind of frontline, and that's not good either, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the only enchanters I'm picking occasionally right now are like Milio and Soraka. Like Milio Ashe, Milio Jinx, in some draft in solo queue work out.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of it as well.
I mean, I think Milio can work as well versus like some champs if they have like TF or Veigar or Lissandra in mid, and then Milio is good for your lane, then Milio can be good. But yes, I do agree that I think right now enchanters are quite weak. They used to be really, really strong and quite underrated, I think, but right now they feel kind of lackluster. But maybe next season, maybe with some changes to the map and the game, then, you know, maybe they're back. And I think this logic that I said will always be applicable unless the champs get reworked. You know, like Lulu has always been kind of a lane champ. Like she was literally played solo lanes before, you know, a long time ago. So yeah. All right. Do you have the video?
Yes. Like I was really unsure whether this is a good game to review or not. Like it kind of sucked that I didn't have more time to prepare some games. Like that was obviously my bad. I think like what happened in this game, I was really mind blown as well. Like spoiler alert, like we lost this game after being really far ahead in early game, and I looked at it on the OPGG and I was really mind blown like how we were able to lose this game, because in my book Syndra and Xayah together with Thresh should be unkillable for Nocturne and Echo.
Yeah,
like
of course. I mean,
playing
Nocturne,
Xayah ultimate.
Playing Nocturne versus Thresh, it's terrible. Like, it's really bad. Like,
that's why I picked
Xayah
him.
is super bad too.
This game. I think I even saw in draft, I saw Nocturne and Echo. I think I blinded Thresh for bot lane. Yeah, it was a horrible game. Like, we were so far ahead, and I misplayed it quite heavily. And I was also quite pressured, because I think Gwen was starting to outscale Renekton really hard, and we lost side lane.
Of course.
So
later,
I forced myself in some really unfortunate fights in
general this game. The way you're gonna lose is side lane, because Echo will be the same. Echo will be Syndra, and then Nocturne is obviously really good at responding to side lane, and so is Bard. Like, you don't want this game to be a side lane game. You want this game to be a dragon game. You want to fight drakes. You want to play 5v5, 4v4. You want to play front to back. You do not want to interact with side. But the thing is, something we'll be looking at a lot is like, how are you trying to make your teammates play? Like, what I mean by this is like, this game you really want your teammates to step deep on mid waves and get like deep mid waves, because you guys need to overload on side lane. What I mean by that is like, you don't want 2 people only on side, you want like everyone on side lane. Like,
I think I didn't do that a single time in this game.
Because the thing is, if you guys if enemies here, let's say this 20 minutes into the game, okay?
Yeah.
Enemy hits wave, you guys hit wave, and you guys both just 5-5 the wave, right? Just kill at the same time. When you both get to here, let's say 5 times there, Nocturne will ulti. Fight is over before you get there.
Yeah. We can't do shit about it.
You guys have to walk up on mid, push them away so that they have to respond to wave here, taking this path, and you guys are already rotating. You guys need to be first on side and get mid push so you guys can overload on side. If you know, like you said, Gwen will outscale Renekton on side, okay, but Gwen cannot just stand here and fight Renekton if you guys are here, right?
Yeah.
And enemy team cannot punish you guys going 4 for Gwen if you guys got deep mid push. And the counterplay when enemies trying to get deep mid push versus you is to engage on them, but they can't engage on Xayah and a fresh lantern, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of how you guys have to play this game, because if you're not stepping up on mid waves, then yeah, you guys can't play, because then they will just match the wave clear, and then Bard and Nocturne will be before Belvet and Thresh on every single side play. And if Gwen sees that her team gets mid prio or matches the wave, then she knows she has backup on side lane. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
So there will be timers in the game, right, where you did Drake and then it's 3 minutes until Drake, and it feels like, okay, well, what do we do? Because we can't split push. Yes, that is when you just seesaw. What I mean by that is you just fucking, you know, on the playground, there's this thing, you sit on here, it goes down, then this goes up. You know?
Okay. Yes.
Yes. So you're gonna push this, you go up. Okay? Then you go down to next wave. You push it, you go up. And you just seesaw like this. Up, back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
For fucking 2 minutes. Because they can't do anything then. The split pushing team can't do anything without mid push. So then their only play becomes, if they see you're going for deep mid wave, they have to go for a fast play on side. They have to do a play as you're taking the mid wave. That's their only option. Because once you get the mid wave and you guys get to here, they can't go on your Renekton. Because you'll ace them. So you gotta ping your team to push it, ping them to step up, ping you have Lantern to like remind them. You gotta like stand in fog, pre-place the Lantern can be good sometimes too. And then your AD carry just walks up, pushes. And then you guys rotate. So that's something we're gonna have to be tracking because, yeah, 100% it's not just Gwen. Echo will, like, basically at some point, Echo can push a wave. And if Syndra is catching under tower, he can just dive her. Like, just press W and dive, you know? Especially with Nocturne. So, yeah. Side lane in general will be hard this game.
Yeah, okay, then I already know how we lost this game. Because, like, I mean, we will see it in a moment. But I think, like, I saw, oh, goddammit, Renekton is really struggling to hold Gwen. And I was, like, trying to force some plays. And they really backfired.
Like, you're fresh. That's my problem. You can't force. Like, you guys don't have engage. But what you have is more range than them. And good tools to avoid their engage.
Yeah.
You counter Bard as well. So, the thing is, like, they should know this, right? I'm sure Nocturne is thinking, I don't want to run into Syndra Saya fresh, right?
Yeah.
So, you have to make them want to go against what they want. They want to split push. You gotta stop that from them. By making dragons, by making heralds, by making barons, you know? If they don't feel that threat, then they're just gonna keep splitting, right? So, you gotta play more for group team fights rather than a random flash hook on a Vayne that can tumble it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. But early game is important too, right? And we will get to talk about that too, but I just wanted to touch on this because you were wondering like why you lost this game, because team fights should be free, and yeah, I agree with that. Team fights, as long as they don't have super good flanks, team fights should be good. Like, if Gwen and Echo both have push on side, then they're maybe getting a really good flank, and then I think team fights is hard. But assuming they don't have like super flanks available, then team fights should be easy. And for lane, like, I mean, you are just stronger than Bard in lane, and Vayne isn't particularly strong. She is okay, but Saya is also strong, you know? So I don't think lane should be...
lane should be fucking free. Yeah.
So that should not be a problem. Only thing that I like to know is like, when I'm playing champ like Fresh, right? You always have the option to just flash flay level 1 and trade sums and then keep Hex Flash, you know? I don't know if you play with Hex Flash or not, but...
I run it, but I usually just try to go for level 2.
Yeah, of course, but it just depends what they do. Like, if they... So, let's say... Okay, let's say they stand really split. Then it can be really fine to just do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, just flash, flay.
It doesn't matter, like, on whom you flash flay. Like, do you only go for ADC? I mean, it kind of depends, like, on the situation.
As long as their support will get chunked enough so that they get chunked and also flash, it can be fine.
Okay.
But if you look at this situation right now, right? If I see this Belvet starting Raptors, then, okay, in my brain, right? I'm thinking, okay, she's gonna do this, gank bot, or this, invade. That's what makes sense. Now, obviously, she could do this, and puff up, right?
Yeah, that sucks dick.
Yeah, but that could be good for her in terms of just perma farming, but I'm not sure what she will do, but I would assume this, and then level 3 gank bot. If I know this, then I would also want to make bot a complete banger, right?
Yeah.
And enemy also has Nocturne, and in general, Nocturne will full clear. Now, that doesn't mean he has to. Nocturne is strong level 3, but most of the time he's going to full clear. Like, he's not going to match this gank. It's too bad for him. And also, with this ward being given, then Nocturne now realistically has only 3 options. Wolf or this start, or this. Those are the 3 camps he could start now. So either solo on these 2, which you will know soon, because if you solo Raptors, you will see him.
Yeah.
If you solo Wolves, you won't see anything. That's the only problem with that. If he does a blue, then probably gets a leash. So I wouldn't worry about Nocturne. But the thing I'm worrying about is that both of them have bone plating. And when my AD carry doesn't have any like form of CC level 1, like Ashe for example, right? She can like slow them.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that if I just flash fly and they have bone plating, they don't actually need to flash, you know? Like Vayne just gets flayed and then she tumbles afterwards and runs away.
Yeah.
So when I saw double resolve here, something I would personally check. I don't know if you checked on OPGG or something, but
no, I didn't.
It's kind of important because you do have a lot of all-in threat level 1 with flash play and auto attack. So yeah, especially
actually, I never thought about that. Like especially in comparison to like the jungle pathing. Like when I know
like
we always win 3-3. Yeah, it's really free. I agree.
Yeah, like if she's doing this, I want to make bot lane aggressive. I want to get push. A good way to get push is to flash on them and make them low so they have to back off. And if we get a really good all-in, right? Again, I'm not saying they should give us one. Vayne can just tumble away. It's just about knowing that there's a possibility and to like pouch on it when you're given a chance, right? But it'll help Belvet a lot if bot lane is aggressive here. It'll create a dive angle potentially. It'll create an invade angle where you guys can move. A lot of things. And I mean, like I said before, later in the game, Echo will beat Syndra on side, and so will Gwen. We should want to win lane, right? Just in general, every game we should want to win lane if we have opportunities to.
Wow, holy shit. Like, my Discord quality is really bad right now.
Really?
Yeah, yes.
Let me know if it... yeah. Does this... It's better?
Yes. Looks better.
No?
Yeah, and now it's everything move. Oh, okay, now I want it's gonna again.
Why the fuck is that happening? Because my internet is really good. One sec. Let me see if there's some settings here or something.
People in my chat are texting like it's a Discord issue, and like a lot of people.
What about now?
I mean, if it's just one frame, it's fine. Okay, now it's working, I guess.
All right, just let me know if it happens. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So we're already here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice this in game much? Do you notice something when you look at them?
Yeah, Bart used his Q and blue buff,
right.
So they, and I think we all pinged it. Yeah.
I mean, she pinged it, but that doesn't mean that you knew. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you pinged it. Okay, perfect, good.
Oh, okay.
But you didn't know yet, though. So this can be a bit false communication.
Misleading.
No?
Yes, yes.
Like, the thing is, like, people like to ping things and say things, but like, let's say Agarin says Lee Sin is at Krugs. When he doesn't actually know, he just assumes. There's a big difference between he is at Krugs and that we think like he should be. Because that he should be doesn't always mean something, you know? Like he should be blue hair, sure, because they're missing. But like I said, it's really easy for Nocturne to solo Raptors and just full clear, or solo Wolves and just solo start somewhere. But we know for sure when Bard's missing.
Yeah.
That is something you can maybe contribute in team play as well, right? It's like 100% it blue, like they leashed, you know? And for solo queue, like I would ping it like now because otherwise it's a bit misleading, you know?
Now we're 100% certain, yes.
But I don't know why you tunnel on the fly so hard as well, because you can just walk up on him now, just keep running at him. And just auto him. Like, where's he gonna go?
I'm playing way too far back.
And
like
also,
he's even tanking minions.
Yes. And like after hitting the fly, you're like still scared, but they are so useless. And if Bard goes into you here, then Saya can always hit. So like here you should just run at Bard. Look, there's two creeps there.
Yeah.
So you can't do anything. And you're playing right now as if you guys will like lose if they run you down.
I think like this is the angle where I can actually flash flay him, no?
Yeah, if he doesn't have bomb plating, yeah. For sure. Or if your AD carry is stronger. Like the problem is that Saya skill Q, you know? Like when Saya skills Q.
I have 3 pixels again. Okay, now it fixes. Like every time you pause the stream, it fixes. You pause the video.
Okay. Well, the recording will at least be good, so. But yeah, I mean, like I said, like, if Sai has W, for example, then 100%, even if he has bone plating, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when she has Q, if he has bone plating up, then it's not so good. But in this case, he's playing no bone plating. So yeah, this would be an angle to do it. So, but now you also gotta keep in mind though, that, like I said, Belvet has 2 options when she does Raptor Start. She either does triple and plays for the game, right? The team and the game, right? Like ganking bot, invading. Or she just plays for herself and goes for like super greedy AFK farming, which is this, and then just clear. Do this, go here again, on spawn. Which is what she decided to do. Like, I wouldn't expect anything from my jungler when I see this. Because if she's gonna do these 2 and then this, then why didn't she just do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing I noticed as well, like if you watch here.
I have like 2 pixels again, like I'm not seeing anything. I don't know why it's that bad.
I mean, if people are saying it's Discord, I had it a bit earlier, like some days ago. So I do believe it's just a Discord thing.
Can you maybe switch it down to like 30 FPS? Maybe it will fix it.
I did switch it to 720p, but I can try that as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Wait. Alright, now?
I mean, it looks... No? Yeah. But it's a bit blurry, but it's fine. No, it looks better.
Yeah, I mean, it's 30 FPS, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here, when this happens, right? Bard uses Q.
Yeah.
Now, when he uses Q, that will allow you to do really crazy things with your positioning in lane, because let's say he has Q up and I tell you to stand here. That would be completely grief. You would get Q'd, get 2 autos from Bard, and then 2 or 3 autos and an auto from Vayne with Tumble. This would be your HP.
Yeah.
Okay, but when he uses this,
we can go
and
nuts.
Look your ADC positioning compared to this caster that will die. Look what Vayne does, and look where you are standing. Yeah. Are you supporting your ADC in any way right now?
No, I'm really useless.
And bot lane, in general, is a lot about trying to connect our ranges together, right? When my range is like this, right? Then our circles, they don't really connect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Vayne can stand here and trade. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Vayne can walk up and hit his caster and I can't hit her. And so why am I standing here when I can stand here? If Vayne wants to kill this, then I can hit her then. And you'll see, watch. Here you click forward, but then you are clicking for the soul, not for, like, the lane.
Yeah. I'm just playing my own little minigame instead of having my ADC.
But you can just run at Vayne here.
Yeah.
Bard has no Q. You know?
Yeah.
Because this caster will die. Look. And this is why it's so important to try to bait out skill shots, because it allows you to do stuff like this. It would be crazy to do what I'm saying if Bard has Q, because then you get stunned and then Vayne trades on you for free. But when you run up on Bard here, it's really good, because it can bait him to cast Q. So here, all my clicks would be forward, and I would try to ask myself, okay, what can I deny? This one. And I would just stand in a pocket where I can hit her if she goes for it. So right now, if I was you, I would be here, and then if she goes on that, then I think you can ping on your way, and then Saya clicks forward. If she follows you, then you can flash Flay Vayne here, which is a really good spot to do it on. Because there's nowhere for her to leave, you know?
Yeah.
But you kind of just give. Which is really strange there.
Yeah. And he wastes his next Q as well. It's also a bad hook.
Yeah. Like the thing about this hook, the problem is like they will always tumble it. And this hook can add pressure onto this creeps if it was up. I'm sure you've heard it before, you played Blitzcrank, but sometimes the best is to just not throw it at all, right?
Yeah. That's like one huge mistake. Like I played so many Thresh games, but I'm still so, I don't know how to say it. Like I have a trigger finger. Like I always want to use and fish with my hooks. And
do you think
it's
that
really
was better before when you were learning the champ?
I mean, like when you're learning,
that's the fear I've always had, is that I believe that when you're learning a champ, right, your skill level is like here, it's not very good. But then after like the first 100 games, your skill level on champ is like really like this, because you think about all these small things a lot. Whereas now, when you have 1,000 games of Fresh, your skill level is maybe like here, sometimes here, but maybe a little bit lower, because you don't think about everything anymore. It's more fluid, you know, it's automatic. Yeah. But as you're learning the champ inside of like the 50 to 100 games, you're thinking about don't waste hook. You're thinking about flash play. You're thinking about everything. Now you're not thinking about it. It just comes and goes with your skill on the day and how focused you are. So maybe you need to kind of relearn Fresh a bit. Like what I mean by that is like go back to like thinking a bit more about what your champion can do. You'll learn it easier this time.
I think that's actually the a huge part of why Korea went so well when I started tryharding, because I started thinking about every single step I'm doing. Yeah. And when I play solo queue, I'm just streaming most of the time. Autopiloting is a huge problem for me.
Can't you just talk out loud?
I'm trying to do it again. And I think I did
at least that's
quite
something
a decent
that
job.
helps me, like when I'm streaming, which isn't often, but when I'm streaming, if I talk out loud what I'm thinking, it can help.
It helps to keep focus.
Yeah, it helps me at least to keep focus, and it also obviously provides value to the stream too, right? Like, I'm sure people wouldn't mind you explaining why you're doing things and thinking out loud, because a lot of people are watching to learn as well, right?
Yeah.
And there's other streamers that does this really well. I know Bwippo, for example. He does a good job at this. So I think that's something worth trying. So yeah. But because like when you tell me like you don't think too much about flash playing level 1 and then you waste hook like this, then this is what worries me, is that you've gotten so comfortable on Fresh now that you kind of just play instead of thinking about how to use your abilities. And I noticed this on a lot of my champs throughout the years. Once I reach like a lot of games, this kind of starts to happen, and then I go a step back to kind of relearn the champ again. And it'll be so easy to relearn it, because I'm not saying you're bad at Fresh, you obviously know Fresh, but you're just autopiloting it.
Yeah.
And a player that's learning a champion wouldn't do that. They would be thinking about how to use their abilities.
Yeah.
Because here, what should happen is that when you're against Vayne, you would keep your hook so that on the next wave, when she farms, you can threaten Flay, you can threaten a new hook. A hook that's gonna matter. Yeah. Because this is the lowest value hook ever. Forcing her tumble on cooldown here has no value. Because that's a way you could think about it as well, is Q equals Q. What I mean by that is, I Q, she Qs. So, I can make her tumble in a case where forcing her tumble can be bad for her. Maybe she can't walk up on a creep to reset it, right? And if she can't reset it, then she will lose a creep. Or maybe she's gonna farm a cannon and I can Q her to stop her, you know? Stuff like this.
Yeah.
That can be valuable. But this is just useless.
I'm trading like a 18-second cooldown for 4 or 5 seconds.
It's completely worthless. So that now, when she actually has to walk up for creeps, and now you could hook Bard, for example. So now maybe Bard, instead of being able to have this pocket available and this pocket available, he would be forced to stand inside of this. Which, thinking about your ADC, could sometimes be really bad for them. There's a Saya. If they're standing in the wave, she can spread feathers on them, right?
Yeah.
When she's hitting creeps. Certain champions like Jhin, for example, or Ziggs, you force these guys to stand on the wave, then they will hit their spells, right? So you will deny a lot of ground here if you had hookup. There's no way Bard level 1 would stand here if you have hook.
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah, I agree.
And stuff like maybe a melee will go into tower and Bard would have to auto-attack. Maybe he can't auto-attack because you have hook.
Yeah.
So all of these things will add up. So now, next check on the minimap that you're gonna have to do now is what the fuck your jungler will do after red. Because she could still do this, she could also cross over here, or she could go and farm.
But the invade is kind of dead, no? I mean, enemy jungle started bot side.
It is. The invade is dead, but if she, for example, crosses here and shows, then enemy bot lane knows.
Yeah.
You know? And that's still important for you. So, like, if you know that this guy shows himself here, let's say he meets Nocturne randomly. Let's say fucking Nocturne decided to start Raptors and Bard was just trolling, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Or if she shows on mid, that's important because sometimes, especially in competitive play, where everyone is on microphone, right? Then you want to fake pressure a lot. You want to act like Belvet is here. Because they don't know. Right now, they don't know. So, the last thing you want is that you don't look at minimap and Belvet shows on a ward here, or she shows here doing a gank. And you didn't think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Should I be auto-taking the cannon minion more?
Useless.
I need to crash it,
yes.
right? Yeah.
You should crash it and look for a hook when they try to farm here.
Yeah. This is actually really useless.
Yes.
Yeah, because blue is gone.
Yes.
Like the ward doesn't give anything.
And cheatering is big mistake too. When you're playing Saya, Ezreal, this type of champs, like this is the best part of the lane for you guys, because this is the part of the lane where Bard cannot go anywhere, can't roam anywhere, and Nocturne can't gank. Nocturne is topside, we know this. Why are we cheatering? Why are we handshaking when we're winning? Right? We should cheat her if you're not gonna be in lane, or if you need to base.
Yeah.
Like, let's say here, Belvet is going topside, and we know 100% enemy Rek'Sai is going bot side to gank us. Then we cannot stand here and go for hooks. Then we might as well recall for a random longsword, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But in this case, Nocturne is Nocturne, first of all, right? So probably won't gank, but Nocturne is topside, pretty much guaranteed, you know? And we're also very likely to find that out when Belvet does this, because she could go here, right? And try to find him, if she really wants. But Nocturne can't come, so we are 2v2. They have to farm 2 waves under their tower. Isn't that a really good time for Saya to just poke with Q and maybe E if she has E, maybe she has W, I don't know. I didn't pay attention, but she can poke with Q, you can go for a hook, you know? And then as the wave comes in, then Saya can just hit it and then make new feathers, you know? And we just keep poking them and keep fishing for hooks on their tower. And we just keep winning and winning and winning while Vayne is weak, while Bard can't roam, while Bard can't threaten us with ultis. Bard will get ulti fast with chimes and XP from lane, while Nocturne still won't gank us. But now you guys make the game so AFK. So yes, of course it's a mistake you try to invade this, but it is also a mistake that now Sai is recalling. You guys should both just be in lane. But now obviously if you are thinking about invading and warding, then it makes sense for Saya to recall because now you're useless. But
I think it was my fault since like I was the first person to move away from the turret.
Of course. But yeah, this is all useless. Like right now Nocturne is finishing his crux, you know? So yeah, I would just be in lane and just poke them with Saya.
Yeah, and I
just
think
try to maintain push.
Nothing even happens up here.
Like sometimes you would let it bounce here. Like to me, it mainly just depends how much damage, we get off when they are under tower. Like if they're full HP, I would personally just keep pushing, because I think that if they remain full HP, you guys are not playing a duo that can bully them on the bounce. So when the wave gets here, when you actually can flash play, you know, they'll be level 3, they'll be full HP, they'll have a massive wave. I don't think you can just kill them.
Yeah.
But if they get a bit chunked under their tower and stuff, then you could let it bounce and then look to engage, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%, like, invading is completely troll and a waste of time. Is the Discord still good?
Yes, everything works now.
That's incredible. I don't know what they did.
I don't know, I'm not using Discord stream that much, but I've never seen that before as well.
Yeah, I mean, I use it every day. So, that's weird. So Nocturne is still topside, but he will recall after this and go to his Grump. This guy not recalling was very, very greedy. Yeah, you should just chase this recall. This is really good. Good. Yeah.
Okay, what do we do here? Like, we just keep pressuring.
But like, if you look at this ward, for example, right?
It's so bad.
Is this ward any value?
No, like
No.
I have like the ward on Gromp and Blue, and I see enemy jungle recalling.
We see him, but more importantly, we will see him in 30 seconds. We know where he's going.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we don't know necessarily where he's going after wolves. He could go here. Now, of course, right, if it's Agarin, he's gonna go here, right? You know? But we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And that would at least be a useful ward. Or maybe we end up trading and you have to ward this, right?
Yeah.
So, like, this is a good ward when this is needed.
Yeah.
But it's not needed here. You have every information, and we know Nocturne will go to his second Gromp. So I would just keep my ward, not do this. I also think what you're doing to the wave is Omega Troll 2. Like, if you're going to do something to the wave, you should be pulling it up. You guys have a massive lead right now. Look.
Yeah.
These guys still have no based. You know?
Yeah.
So if you're going to do anything to the wave, you should be pulling it.
Yeah. So we can
like,
keep like an all-in angle, like,
you
because
just
we
run
have
here.
to walk up.
Yeah, you just run here, pull the wave up as much as you can, that they allow you. Just make sure the wave is here, slightly pushing into you. If you're gonna do that, then that's okay. But like starting to pull it up here and stuff just makes them further away from the bushes, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
You want to be able to be in bush and hook from fog and stuff. Like here again, you're making a situation where no matter how good Bard is, it doesn't matter. Like what I mean by that is that I like to like challenge every creep and make enemy have to respond well, because obviously in this case, Bard is not helping Vayne contest this CS, and if I was standing here, it's very possible Bard will move up. But the thing is, if you make this decision on every creep that you can, at some point Bard will misclick. At some point he'll be here when Vayne is farming, and then you can hit Vayne here. But I feel like you never challenge this. You never do. There is no downside for you to right now just walk up to here. There's no downside. Because the moment you see Bard walk up and you end up in 1v2 with Bard here, Vayne here, and Fresh here, you can click back.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have the reactions to that, right? The moment you see Bard walk up. But you never do it. Look, you click into the bush, and you're not even standing here looking to like auto or something. You're just like here on the bush. So she just farms it.
Yeah.
But you should be able to auto her now for like 80 damage with this thing. No?
Yeah.
Unless, like I said, Bard walks here. Then maybe you have to back off. But you are capable of doing that. But you never try. So it's like you should always do it when there's no downside, you know?
Yeah.
So here, when we're crashing, always ask yourself, okay, can we now just poke them in a turret, or do we have to respect? Because, obviously, in this case, we assume that Nocturne is gonna farm. And we both have flashes up, so if Nocturne spends time to gank, to ruin his clear, and only gets their flash, that's not very good, right? Like, the only reason why Nocturne would ever go bot here is if it's gonna be a kill. It'll never be a kill, it'll just be flashes. So that's fine, but we also have a bit of a situation in mid here. Right? She's really, really low.
Yeah.
When my mid is low like this, if she has TP up, then I don't really care. But if she has no TP, then that could be valuable to help, you know? And I feel like when I'm watching you slow push here, the game is really AFK when you have a slow push and you're winning. Because this guy's not gonna fight you. Isn't this a really good time to start like learning to F key and stuff?
Yeah, it is.
When
like
you're
I
just
can check on mid
cam, right? You're just like locked on bot lane, but you are support and you're gonna have a timer after this wave, right? The moment that Saya decides to push this wave, then you can already say in comms, I can go mid next wave. Right? If this was team play now, you would say, next wave I can go mid.
Yeah.
Or I can defend top. There's another play happening. Massive slow push on top and your Renekton is chunked. Right? So, enemy team, they could dive Renekton on this wave, or the next wave, if they want. But it's most likely going to be on this one. So, that's another play to consider. But I feel like you don't think about this at all. You're just here,
I really don't.
staring at this Vayne. But the thing is, why would Vayne walk up? Not a single creep is dying right now. But still, you're like locked cam here.
And I'm
See?
even showing like all the time. I
Yes.
could at least try to
could-
fog.
Yeah, you could be in fog and only walk up when you go for relic, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, how can you shot call here? How can you make a play? How can you know what to do after crashing this when you don't even know what's happening? Your Syndra is getting mega chunked, and you're not checking if she has TP. You know? Like, you press tab there, but I don't know if you checked, you know?
No,
Because you're not moving your camera.
I don't think I did. Yeah. No, it's like completely useless 30 seconds.
Yeah. And, like, here, if Saya wants to stay, like I said, then I would be playing to hook. I would make this cannon really annoying to farm right now. Like, it's honestly really hard to farm that cannon. You'll see. This cannon here, if you're standing here with Saya, it's not easy. And easily you can predict a tumble here. Don't you think? Watch. Imagine you're standing, like here. You know?
Yeah.
And she has to farm it. Then you can try to predict tumble. She will never, ever tumble in here. Agree?
Yeah.
She'll lose a lot of HP.
Yeah.
Most of the time, she will auto and tumble like this, right?
Yeah.
So you can try to predict that. And by hooking like this, it covers this one too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth a try. The only thing I would argue about is that they have a Bard that could portal Nocturne here. And Nocturne is around here.
That was like the reason I stood back and tried to play Lantern as well, because we knew he spots that.
Yeah, but like I said, I would just lose my flash for it. Because I believe it's just too bad.
I don't think they can ever kill us.
Yeah, they can't. They will go and you will flash and Lantern her out.
Yeah.
But like, I agree. Yes, they can Bard portal on you guys. I just think if you guys play it good, you only lose flashes. And I think that is worth it, because I think if Nocturne does this with his clear right now, he'll just be too behind. And I think Vayne and Bard will not make you guys suffer. I think sometimes losing your flash is super, super bad. In this case, I don't think they will make any use of it, you know?
Mm.
If you lose flash versus a Blitzcrank, right? It's really fucking bad.
But against early Bard Vayne, it's really whatever.
Yeah. That's how I feel. As long as you don't die to like what would be bad is like if Nocturne is full clearing here, finishes Grump, and just goes here and gets your flash.
Mm.
That's super troll.
Because he doesn't lose anything for wasting time bot lane.
He just walks there and just gets flash. But here, he's puffing like this, with this up and this coming up.
Mm.
And then as Nocturne to then walk here, take the portal, and just have you flash and decide to get out. It's kind of a waste of time, you know?
Yeah.
But I do agree, the Bard portal can for sure be scary, because it could theoretically be placed here as well, right?
I have one more question about the mid lane thing. Like, if I see Syndra as chunked, and let's say she doesn't have TP, I don't know if she has TP up right now. But can I really do something for her in this situation? Like, I can't really walk into river, right? Because I know Bard is somewhere up there, and I know Nocturne is bot side as well.
Yeah,
like, do they not just? Yeah,
Velvet is mid.
And she would. Does she go for?
All I'm saying is to look at it, right? And then you have to judge.
Just consider it.
Yeah.
Just do something with my time.
Some games you can't, because if she's chunked, let's say she's chunked, and enemy mid is healthy.
Yeah.
And then Velvet, let's say Velvet loses to Nocturne, and then enemy support is her too. Then yeah, you can't go. But the thing is as well, like, if Bard is in river, it's a lot of XP that he lost. So if he's in river, one that is often quite unlikely in this situation, like often Bard is here now.
Yeah.
And he's gonna come. Or portal you. But I would just go, like, safe path to Velvet, meet her, and just go. And we're not playing to kill them. We're just playing to hit the wave, and then Syndra uses spells and you Lantern on her.
Yeah.
You guys can never die here in this case.
No.
With your champions. But yeah, you can die here if you run like this. You know? But you just don't need to, because if we're playing for the mid lane situation, then what we're doing is now you're not standing here, you're standing here hitting creeps, and then when these are dead, you start to leave, you know?
Yeah.
And Saya just QEs this, and then you just leave. And then Bard is here.
Yeah.
So, but to make this decision and know what to do, you have to first even think about mid.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're 100% right. Like, if you don't see Bard, you can't walk like this. You know?
But actually, I really have in this situation, like, I have the time to go the safe route, because Velvet will just do her chickens, And like
Yeah, well,
the time she's
you would also be moving already right now.
yeah, yeah.
Because they're not gonna freeze and hold these 2 waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine to do. If you're not going to pressure, then just standing here in fog is good. But like now, when my side is like this,
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I was
why
really
she's not
unsure.
basing. Like, I would ping her to base.
What I thought as well in this situation.
Like here, I would ping her to base, and then if they hard push, I would just freeze the wave.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I would just stand in fog, enemy team pushes, and then I would just hold the wave, you know?
Yeah, and it takes them forever. Like, and I don't have buy anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, this is so troll. Like, and you're not like contesting it. That's kind of weird. Like, you're not like pinging it or writing B. And I know, like, yes, sometimes people don't listen, right? I know that. But
you can try at least.
You can try, and literally the game I just played, like 10 minutes before calling you, I swapped with my bot lane as top at like 10 minutes. You know? Which is like stuff that people do in like LEC with voice comms.
Yeah.
So you can make shit happen with pings and stuff, and it's so low effort because you're probably thinking already here, my side is she should base.
Yeah.
So as you're thinking that, just ping her and just write B.
Yeah.
A big part of playing support is micromanaging people.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you don't want to micromanage her in a way where you're telling her how to, like, play her champion. Like, you don't want to tell her to, like, oh my god, Saya, you have to ult Malphite ult after she died. Right? Like, that's just toxic and useless, right?
Yeah,
that will just trigger her. But she's not going to get mad if you ping one time this and writing B in chat.
Yeah.
Because now, you can't do anything now. You can't play with this. This is really fucked now.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, I'm really clueless, like, what to do.
I don't know why you're so scared always, though. Because here, for example, after Bard casts his Q, watch now. Why don't you attack trade with Vayne?
Yeah, yeah. Because of Belveth coming as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If this is 2v2, you win. Look, right now, I'll tell you what will happen. If you turn, you will hit Vayne because animation lock. If she tumbles somewhere, you just fucking flay her. You know? If she tumbles away, then either you just let her go, and then you just traded auto for your auto. But then, you need to understand, if they go here, look
they
away.
walk into, yeah, and they walk into Belveth.
Yeah, if she comes, but let's ignore Belveth. Belveth's topside here. Both junglers topside right now.
Okay.
If they go here, you are not letting them enter lane, right? So, if you hit Vayne here by standing here instead of clicking away, if she goes this way, you will flash tumble her, no?
Yeah.
I mean, flash fly. And if she goes here, then you just keep your fly, stand here, and they can't go up on the wave.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yeah, totally.
But you just give ground always. Like, always. You place this ward, we know it's Nocturne, right? Like, I agree here, we can be a bit scared, because they can portal here if they're really good. I agree with that. But now, as long as you make sure they don't get a good Bard stun, they can't win.
Yeah.
So here, I would press right click on main. And I would see what would happen, because them just leaving here is really crazy to me.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, now you know this is warded. So something to keep in mind. No, this is really fine. Good fly. Good. Obviously, he could have still spell shielded the hook, but it was good fly.
I think there I can just keep auto-attacking Vayne as well, no?
Yeah, yeah, of course. But you're just like always scared.
Yeah.
Like you're clicking in general, like you should just click forward. The moment you kill this guy, you should just run her down.
Yeah.
But you just panic. Like I think you're pretty bad at like using your HP in general. Because like in early game, when I tell you to deny her the caster here, right? You are probably, if you hit her, you're gonna tank like 3 casters and you're gonna get auto-attacked by her. So you're like scared to do it. But she will lose gold. And she will lose HP too. And you are the winning lane with push. And if you are winning and having push, if you for some reason need to recall, then you make your cheater better. Because if we make the lane volatile, let's say they get low, right?
Yeah.
And then you crash the wave. Then we are not only just basing for some random bad item, we're also refreshing our resources while they're stuck in lane.
Yeah.
But you like never click forward. You like always just click back. So yeah, I think in general, just I would say to push your limits a bit more, like try to be a bit more confident in your decisions, you know? Like here, in general, you should be, in my opinion, in the mindset this game. We are fresh side, we never lose 2v2.
Yeah.
And here's no difference. Doesn't matter if Saya is chunked, she's under her tower. You have plenty of HP, you know?
And I do have all my pots left,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
6 minutes into the
Yeah,
lane.
exactly.
And I even have red buff now, like for sustain. Like I can just
Yes.
run her down. And obviously the burn damage is low.
Yes. And like, imagine in the situation, even if you don't kill her, right? Let's say she lives. Look at the wave. Imagine she is.
she's really
Imagine she's
fucked.
this HP, and then
Yeah.
you're this HP.
Yeah.
How does she lane afterwards, though? She
It's
can't.
impossible. I
can't
just
do
I mean next wave is coming, I'm just chilling in this bush and I can
Yes.
Hex Slash.
Yes.
Yeah, again, I'm clicking backwards.
Like here, I would
Bot
trust
can't even
that.
stun.
Here, right now, I would trust that if she condemns and goes on me, Saya will kill her. That's my
Actually, I
mindset right
don't
now.
see shit right now. Okay, now I see it again. Can you
Okay.
just repeat what you just said or what you showed on?
Yeah, look. So I'm
Stream.
saying here, when I'm in a situation like this as a support,
Yes.
Vayne can condemn me, obviously.
Yeah.
But my mindset is that for them to burn through this HP, Vayne will
Saya
die
kills
to
her.
Saya.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if Vayne dies for Saya, I'm happy. Look at the wave. Like, Vayne will lose this whole wave after this. You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't click back.
And now
Because-
bot Q is gone as well.
The thing is, in this situation, like, I wouldn't even bother dodging the Bard Q. Because if you want to dodge Bard Q and you're scared here, then you shouldn't be here in the first place.
Mm.
Because when you're standing here versus Vayne, even if you start clicking back, she can get here if you get hit by Bard Q and then condemn you here instead, right? So
Yeah.
by standing here, you are saying that we win 2v2.
Yeah.
Which is true.
And like the next second, I'm like chickening out again.
Yes. But then you see here, this is the ground problem again, where Bard, he does a bad decision by clicking into alcove, right?
Yeah.
And then you click back and just let him go through again. You see that?
Yeah, it's really crazy.
It's the same as the river thing. When you
Well,
just hit
yeah.
him, click forward, and then he has to fucking loop around. If he loops around and he ends up here, you just run out Vayne.
Yeah.
But you perma do this. Good. Good smack.
Like the first real auto attack.
Yeah. But like here, like, what are these pings? What are we pinging? Why are we scared of Echo? Look where Belvet is. Belvet is your ward. Echo is not just gonna run past Belvet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And where is Nocturne in all of this? If Nocturne is coming, right? He would have had to go through here.
Yeah.
You have Belvet here, and these guys are so useless, you know? So like, yes, I understand Echo is coming, but another problem with Echo coming, you are still just unaware of Echo, you know? Like, it seems like Echo got to lane before Syndra, and that he's pushing and now roaming full HP. But it's kind of hard to know when I'm watching your game, you know? Because sometimes maybe your Syndra recalled first here, and she's just troll pinging, you know? Maybe Echo is half HP here and wants to recall.
Yeah.
Which
Because
is
I never
something-
checked it myself.
Yes, which is something you should check too, because bot lane is heating up right now, right? We want to fight bot lane.
Yeah.
So you must ask yourself, okay, is Echo gonna come? Am I gonna get the double TP on here, season freestyle? You know? Like, I need to know this.
And
Is
I
there
have
a
no info
Rengar
at
in this
all.
bush? I need to think about all of this. I need to ping Belvet. Because we're not gonna let these guys crash here.
Yeah. And I'm again. Oh my god.
I think you can just
Game.
stand next to the portal a bit.
I'm really glad Discord doesn't show the footage.
It didn't show this part?
No.
Is it good now?
Actually, I don't. Okay, now it's loading again. I don't know why it's so scuffed, like the quality.
I mean, it's just Discord. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna restart it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Okay. Yeah, works right now.
So I was thinking here, right now, I'm not sure why you left so quickly, because you still have plenty of HP to use, and you can try to make Echo go on you, and then you portal.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you going here is a bit weird. Like you could still just stand here. I feel like why are you running so far away from Echo? Like you should know Echo's range, right?
Yeah.
If you stand here, how can Echo get on you?
Nah. Yeah. He won't.
So why not just stand here?
And I can just auto take him when he goes
Yes.
on Velvet.
Yes. And then you still make him think that he can maybe get on you. By going here, you are surrendering your whole team while killing yourself, you know? Like, you can't help the fight, and you're just gonna die over there. So, like, I would just commit to the fight. Like, what's wrong with the fight? Look, Bard portaled out, and Vayne is 10 HP.
And we
What's
still
wrong
have,
with the fight?
Still have 2v3 now, yeah.
Yes. I think this was kind of troll.
Yeah, I didn't think he could kill me, but he still has Ignite and it's Bard.
Yeah. I think in general, the main problem here is just the earlier fights, you know? Because I think, like here, this situation here, they should just get so chunked here. You should be hitting Bard, perma hitting Bard, and just flaying him and just killing him, you know? Because if Vayne goes on you, Vayne cannot kill you. Vayne will chunk you like this during the condemn, and then you will just hit her back. That's the thing about Fresh versus Vayne. Every time Vayne is hitting Fresh, he can basically hit her, you know?
Yeah.
The only time that changes is when Vayne has like fully stacked lethal tempo, you know? Then she can like easily space you, but in early game it's so easy, don't you think? To hit Vayne when she hits you.
Yeah, it should be, yes.
Okay, so you buy CDR boots. You gotta be a bit careful about warding like this, because not because you can like die, it's just mainly that right now, right? Like in this game we're playing Fresh, so it doesn't matter as much, but in general I put a lot of importance on getting level 6 as a support. Because in general I believe that ultis on supports tend to be the most OP ultis. Seraphine ulti, Soraka ulti, Alistar ulti, Rel ulti, Alistar, you know, like so many champions.
Yeah.
That has so great ults. Fresh ult is not the best, but it's not the worst. And when you go and do this, Echo is going to push mid. And Sai is going mid. So there's a full mid wave for you to get. So you gotta ask yourself, is it really worth to go and do this, go all this way alone, get no XP, place my pink on bot, and go here all this way, losing all the XP in mid, leaving Saya alone, Echo getting plate.
Yeah, because I'm not really doing anything
what am I doing?
besides
Now my
dropping
wards are
1-1.
gone. Right?
Yeah.
I placed a ward that I can't protect and can't use right now.
And it's already gone.
Having this ward is kind of irrelevant for going here on this wave. And I then lost the wave.
Yeah.
So to me, this is useless. I would prefer to hear, okay, I realize now, okay, Syndra is bot lane. Why don't I just go mid, push out mid, and then we swap?
Yeah.
Instead of placing vision all alone that can't be protected and can't be held.
And I can place the vision like after we get mid prime,
Yes.
and then we can actually defend it.
Yes, then we can defend it and use it. At least that way, if it gets taken, at least we can use that. Let's say we pushed out mid together, right? And then I go here, and then I ward it, and then it gets killed. At least then, when we're pushing bot, we know they're here.
We know somebody's, yeah.
This way doesn't mean anything. Let's say these guys are missing now, and the last time you saw it was them killing your ward a minute ago. That doesn't mean anything. They could be anywhere at that point.
Yeah.
So not only could you die or let's say you just meet Bard here. Let's say Bard is just here. What the fuck are you doing then? You just have to leave. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say Bard shows here, or Nocturne shows here. You're then gonna have to, you walked this way to then walk this. Right? So I never do this. Only times I do wards like this is if I'm like in mid game, late game, and I know for a fact I can do it, and there's nothing to do. Like, I think then it can be fine, especially as champs like Pyke and Bard, you know? But as Fresh here, like, this is just so useless, you know? And like I said, if there's a pink or something here that shows you and Bard is here, or like just portals on you, you're just dead.
Fucked. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just so low value ward for nothing. So just realize, okay, Syndra is gonna push out bots. She's not gonna stay bot lane like 7 minutes into the game. She's just farming bot lane. So your job now is to make sure you guys get to push out mid to swap back.
Yeah.
Unless you want to keep these lanes. I don't think we should keep these lanes right now, unless we think that we are better to stay for Herald. Because Herald is in a minute, so if you guys are gonna stay mid, then you force Syndra to stay bot. So yeah, you have to kind of judge like how useful are we for Herald compared to having just Syndra be on Herald. Because another thing is that if Syndra remains alone here, Nocturne gets 6, and then Vayne and Bard, they should be able to push in Syndra 1v2, right?
Yep.
If you guys go for Herald, then she can just get over, you know?
Yep.
So I wouldn't want to keep these lanes right now. I think later we can, but having them like this now when Herald is coming, it's kind of bad with a mid like Syndra. Like maybe just something like Lissandra or something that's more safe. It can work if bot lane is genuinely like stronger for the Herald fight. But I would rather have Syndra and Fresh on Herald than Fresh and Saya.
Yeah. And it should be quite easy for us, like in the matchup, generally speaking, to get prio and to get a good move on Herald.
Yes.
Anyway, so even if you're bot lane.
So yeah, I would be mid now and taking the cannon with Relic, which is another thing you lost for doing this ward. Then now I would walk up on mid and just fucking hit it. If I think Saya is vulnerable on the mid wave, then I'll do what I said before, pinging her to push it, and then I would sit in fog and lantern out. But now, my problem is that both of you are stuck, you're really late, and they have full control bot side. I don't know why you're trying to brute force this. They are stronger than you, have Echo behind you, what are you guys doing? This is what I said was was gonna happen if you went here and Bard was here.
Yeah.
Bard would just stand here and bodyguard it. You're not allowed through this.
Yeah.
So when you go here and get the mid wave, you run the long way to bot lane.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? They have Echo behind you and 2 people there. They're not just gonna leave. Because now the problem is Vayne has pushed and you're so late now. You know? This is good though, that you did this.
Yeah, now I want to stay for Herald.
Yes, because like I said, I would much rather have Syndra and Fresh at Herald than Fresh and Saya. So this is good. I just don't understand what you're trying to hope for here, you know?
Yeah, neither do I.
Saya has to get to bot lane fast, because the thing is that if Saya gets slowed down on Herald, on bot lane, if they crash this wave and then they get here, they can proxy her. Yep. But if she is here, when the wave is crashing and incoming, she can Q and W and E it as it's coming in and they can't dive her.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why this is so bad, and that's why I'm saying that I really want to push mid here. But you're like AFK. And another thing is, like I said before, how do you know that there's no ward here, no ward here, you know? So like Echo could just see you right now, and then he could just push the mid wave in front of your tower. So yeah, just learn to never do this. Be mid right now, run down mid, push the wave, then let your AD carry go to bot lane, and then you make a decision. Because this is all so fucking awkward. Understood. And again, with Herald being up, imagine you kept your ward, right? And you warded here, or you warded here, and we get to see if Bard is committing. We get to see Nocturne coming. Nocturne entering his ult range. It's really short. You can ask Agarin. It's so short, level 1. Yeah. Right? So you literally see him here ulting. But we don't have that ward. So, yeah.
And then I can already decide if I can recall earlier to back up
exactly.
on bot lane.
Yeah. Because you also, like, when you're doing these Herald things, you also gotta understand, like, what is my job here? Like, why am I here? In this case, you have a very strong top 3v3. So your job is just to be here because of Bard. Sometimes you have a losing top 3v3, but you think you can't do anything bot lane, so you go there to make it a 4v3. But in this case, your 3v3 is fine. You know? Like, both sides can win. The only problem here is Renekton doesn't have ulti, but maybe it's because Gwen doesn't have ulti too. I'm not sure.
Because we never watched top lane in 9 minutes.
Yes. So, at this point here, right, if I was you, I would just try to get the relics, and then now I would show myself go here, and then I would just
recall. And then I recall. Yeah.
Yeah. If Bard shows bot.
Yeah. I think that's what I tried to do there as well, but it was really slow on it.
Yeah.
Because I can recall already here.
Yeah, of course. But the only problem is, like, we don't know if that's on vision or not, you know? That's the only problem. Like, with recalling in the mid lane bush, is that if that's warded, you might get cancelled, but also they will know.
Yeah.
That can be a problem too sometimes. Okay. Nocturne ulted. I would ping my ulti. Like my XP.
I think, yeah, because we really want to fight now. Like,
yeah.
matchup is still really free and Nocturne has no R. Yeah. I'm way too scared. Fucking hell. Bard is griefing so hard.
Yes.
And I don't even have to hook, I can just walk up and flay.
Yes. Yes.
Ah. It's so awkward to watch this.
Yeah, it is, right? Sometimes when you
Holy fuck. It's so bad. Okay, I'm not seeing shit again right now.
Okay, one sec.
Okay, yeah, every time you pause it, it fixes.
Just restart it.
You have to restart it. Just press pause and play again. I think it fixes it. Yeah, now it's working again. Thanks.
The problem here is that, like, your lantern is really, really troll. But in general, like, every time, like, I noticed every time you get engaged on or a fight or something happens,
I just randomly drop lantern.
You just drop lantern, or you just, like, piss your pants and click away, you know? You get so scared. So I really need you to, like, register, like, what is a winning fight for them? Like, what does it look like? Because, to me, a winning fight for Vayne is a long lane where she, like, ultis and runs a guy down. Look when Bard CCs you and ults you. How can Vayne work with this?
Even with full HP Zaya protecting me.
Look where you are CC'd. Look where Vayne is.
Yeah.
And then you just lantern like this. What is this? You lantern for shielding Zaya. Right? And so, to me, that isn't a game knowledge thing. That's just a fresh thing. That's why I'm saying again the thing about when you're having 50 to 100 games and you're thinking about everything like this. You're like at your peak, you know, in terms of like performance sometimes, and then you go down a bit and sometimes peak a bit. And
I think
like,
that's not even. I think it's not even a Thresh problem. Like I'm just playing way too defensive, like on every champion.
Yeah, but
I think that's just a general problem I have.
We need to go from being defensive always to being defensive when it makes sense. The only thing to ask yourself here, right now, is that they have a push into you and they have Echo with mid push. And mid laners like Echo, Kiana, Talon, Lissandra, Galio, TF, Ryze, champs that has a lot of wave clear or mobility, right? Or global ultis like this, like Ryze, Galio, TF. When you're getting pushed on like this, it can be scary to trade because you can get dove, right?
Yeah.
So right now in game, you could be thinking maybe they will try to dive us with Echo. But the thing is, if you're thinking about that, why the fuck are you lanterning for 80 shield? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because right now, if you just stand here next to the wall and keep your W, you have flash and hook. You cannot get fucked by Echo.
Yeah.
Impossible. But now you have no W for no reason. You know? And you're hooking Bard. Why Bard?
Because I was hoping he would take aggro, but yeah, he never does with Echo. He never should.
I think you should just CC Echo so he can't deal damage.
Yeah. And
He can't cast spells. Bard is useless. You know? Like, this dive is so troll by them. I mean, here I'm assuming always Saya will recall. Like, Nocturne has ulti again now, but I can't really save her if she gets knocked ulti now, you know? So here I'm always asking myself, like, can I make a play elsewhere while my ADC is in base? Because going bot here, you'll see you're gonna lose the whole wave. See? It's pushing away from you. You can never make it.
Yeah.
So for example, what you can do is like drop all your wards and then recall again. That's something you can do here.
To like sync my base with Saya.
Like this wave is gone, so I don't know why you're going for it and pinging it. See? That shit's fucking gone, bro. Nah, it's mid, no? Or
Yeah,
just
it
lost
was
vision,
mid.
maybe? Yeah, it's mid.
I was afraid it's on Saya, but it wasn't.
Yeah, because like right now, this would be a timer where you could have done the wards you did before, because you could have just dropped all wards and then just recalled. Because you'll have timers like this as a support that will feel kind of awkward, where you died first, and now your whole team is dead or in base.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, what do I do? And it's just like, you can just drop wards and just recall.
And get them again, yeah.
Yes. So like, if you're scared of phase checking someone, right? Then maybe you can drop them all topside here, you know? Just have vision. And then you just recall. But this is useless. You should not go and hover her. This wave is dead. So either she's dead now to Nocturne, in which case you are doing nothing, right? Or she got the wave. And then you're doing nothing as well. So I don't know where you're going here. Because yeah, I would come from base now. Like, this is so useless, right? You know what you're doing? So, like, their whole jungle could be like lit up somewhere, and then you could come now with new wards, and that would be pretty good. Just get this portal at least. Ouch. We don't even get this portal. Sucks. I mean, here the thing is Echo. I would be spamming Echo. Like, again, like I said before, like, you wanna try to remind people and guide them, right? And every time you're making a play, you need to ask yourself, how are they gonna respond, right? Like, the obvious one is that they have Echo with mid push here.
Yeah.
So I don't want me and my team to end up here.
I also was kind of AFK, like I really need to start communicating more, because I was even saying in my stream, I really hope Belveth doesn't spawn Herald into Bard ult, and like 5 seconds later she does exactly that.
Yeah.
And it just gets stays, whatever.
Here, I think you guys give a little bit too easy, because again, you are playing fresh with Lantern. If you make Echo stay bot lane here, then Syndra will get a free timer and a plate or two. And so what I mean is, here you have Lantern. This is a perfect example of what I said before. Look, this wave coming.
And Nocturne doesn't even have ult right now.
Yeah.
Or it should be on cooldown. So.
Yeah, it's a cooldown. Saya can just stand here.
Yeah.
And you just Lantern her out.
She's unkillable.
Yes. And you can ping her to do that.
Yeah.
You can ping to push. Because you guys just run away. But why are we here, guys? Like, come on. Like, I understand. Here we run. Yes. But now we can click up. Why is it this distance between us when all we need is this? We just need to make sure that they can't come with Echo on us. Look where Echo is. He's running away.
Yeah, they have 0 engage right now.
You want to try to keep them interested in you. And you need to understand your next goal, which is to push this so we can roam and play the game. But then you guys run as if they can like all in you. You still have Belveth here, you know? You still have
they have
Flash.
no Nocturne
You still have
ultimate,
ult.
no Bard
They
ult.
have no Bard ult. Nocturne ulti will come up, but they don't have Bard ult. Like Nocturne ulti at like 11 or 1050 or something. I think it's like 1050. Yeah, 1050. So like he doesn't have it exactly there, but it's gonna get up. But main point is just like, you guys get dangerous, danger here. Makes sense. We're scared. Makes sense. But we want to keep them interested. We want to keep playing the game. And to me, it's like, you guys just gave up completely. Why? Why are we giving every bush? Why are we giving every bit of control? You know, Dragon is up. Imagine, here, that you guys stand here now, on this rock, right?
Yeah.
Bard can't enter this bush and this go into, like, enter this bush into going here for free if you stand here, Saya standing here, right?
Yeah.
And they can't go on Saya, because the moment you see Echo start clicking, you click here and you Lantern her. Right?
Yeah.
So then what you create is Syndra pushes, and then you guys push. which allows you to move up river after. And then Syndra can move into you because you guys are here. And then you guys can do Drake.
Yeah.
And then we can get a team fight on Drake if we want to. If we think we lose a team fight, then we don't have to do Drake, right? It's just an option. But doing Dragon now, when they are the ones who bot push here, and Syndra has to do the long way, it's just worse, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Good. Yeah, so you wanted to hit, but you realized you would take the kill if you did, so you didn't. It's nice.
I think it's useless to take the CS, right? I mean, you have more wards already.
Yeah, but it's also useless to be here unless they can go on your team. So you just gotta think about that. In this case, they could. So I would stand more in like the middle between both. You know? I would personally just ping my mana, like you would be really confused about people's awareness on these things. Like I'm sure in team play you've maybe even heard somebody say like, oh, I thought you had R.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people forget stuff
This
like
was
this all the time in fights. I mean, this guy should never get that low there.
I think we really cringed a bit. Oh, I think we just hit recall button after the dragon.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we achieved anything in mid lane, and we just gave Vayne a random kill on bot lane.
Yeah.
And almost died on mid lane as well.
I mean, the thing I'm thinking here in game is that we are really strong. We have tons of items. We look at Echo right now, right? He's like really strong in base probably, but right now he's not very strong. And Herald is up, right?
Yeah.
And I have a Renekton, who is still strong.
And a Belveth.
Yeah. So I want to play for Herald. Am I playing for Herald here? Now you're just playing for this guy to int. Is that a good way to play?
I think I can be lucky. I'm happy that she's just recalling and not following me.
Yeah, but like, here, look. If Vayne now clicks back, how does she die here?
Yeah, she never dies.
Look, she clicked back because she wants to win the game. So like, I understand, yes, in solo queue, people might int sometimes. And I think sometimes you have to play to kill the inter. But I don't like to do it here, when there's a guaranteed win.
Yeah.
Herald is up in 30. If you simply now just ward it around, recall with your team, then Herald is yours. There's nothing enemy team can do. They would be late every time. Syndra's on the map, Echo is in base right now. So you guys would have first position. We just said that if enemy doesn't have flanks on their team, and you guys have first position, it's really hard for them to fight, right?
Yep.
But now we have no wards placed prior to it, and you are still not in base. You are nowhere to be found.
And now
You're
I'm
placing
realizing
Pink's bot side. Placing your wards bot side. So now Belvet has to run into a Bard and a Nocturne and an Echo that's coming with Protobelt now on mid lane. Why are we doing this? If your top side is weak, it makes sense, but why? Your top side is strong. Enemy team could be hitting Herald now, and I told you Bard will be top. Right? Here you're mega gapped.
Yeah. I mean, just watch what happens. And I remember saying, I'm so glad Vayne inted there, so we got anything on bot side. Because I knew I'm griefing, but I realized it way too late. Like, I realized it a minute too late.
In general, your awareness is just bad because you keep looking at things that don't matter. Like, if you watch here, the game, right? Here you press tab. Watch. But when you press tab, I don't know what you're like looking at. Like, I'm looking at items, I'm looking at sums, I'm looking at ults, and I'm looking at timers.
Yeah.
So already here I know. Herald up in 1 minute, and I'm spam pinging it. Okay? You are not pinging it. So that tells me that I don't think you're thinking about it, maybe. Here I see Saya 1 HP, and I see Belvet is chunked. I would be spam pinging Herald again now, because I want her to remember. Meanwhile, you're pinging to defend bot turret, but she can never get bot turret. Look, her wave is dead. See? She can get one plate here. So she's not going to get the tower. And then Saya can just go there and just defend one wave. And then we kill Herald and we can help her after. This is so fucking useless. The same plates that Vayne gets here, right? You guys will get a whole tower or more with the Herald. Plus a winning team fight if they fight you.
Yeah.
And obviously, Belvet gets 4.
I knew this the replay analysis with you would be painful to watch, but it being that painful.
Well, you can use the pain to not want to be playing like this, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
better.
I think. Okay, I'm not seeing shit again.
Now?
Yeah, it's getting better now. Yeah, no, it fixed.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so now you see Nocturne. Only thing here is like they still haven't hit it, you know? So like if they're hitting it, look, if you now see Nocturne and you know they're hitting it, right? So you see him here hitting, then there's no point in walking there. Okay? But now there can still be point in walking there. Because they haven't hit it yet. So
okay.
I wouldn't be so quick to be like, okay, we must die Vayne. Because they still can't kill it in time if you start to walk. Because if you start to walk now, you'll be like here when they start to hit it. So you'll be able to contest.
Yeah.
So, and it's massive time waste for them to hit it and then have to back off because you're coming, you know?
Yeah.
So just think about that. Like, I'm not saying it's bad to die Vayne if you see an angle to do it. I'm just saying that if you think this 4v4 is winning, then you can still get there. Okay. It's only if they were hitting it here that you can't get it. But Nocturne is late, just like you. So personally, I wouldn't go and die Vayne. I would just make up my mistake.
Nah, it's way too risky. Like, it only worked because she's inting.
Yes. Like here, I would just fix my mistake and just go to Drake. Get Drake as early, like really late.
Yeah. I mean, I still cringed the dive, no?
Yeah, a little
like
bit.
It was like still the worst way to play it. I can just walk up and flay her.
Yes.
And not make everything depend on a random hook.
Yeah, of course. Like the relying on random hook versus Vayne is obviously not great.
It's so fucking painful.
Yeah. Like warding camps like this is especially good versus Nocturne.
Yeah.
Like Nocturne Evelyn type of things. But warding the bush isn't as much value as you think. You know? Like you could just ward both camps just like you did before.
Okay, just put it here, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. In this position I was just curious. I didn't see her hitting tier 2. And I didn't know if I can set
She shouldn't.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't even looking, because I thought she just pressed base.
Yeah. I mean, here, I disagree with what your team is doing. Like, here, same thing as before. Like, this was real nice about Fresh. Like, why are we scared to take in this wave? Because the game will always be shit when your mid or whoever was mid does this. Look.
Yeah.
What is this? Why is she there? Right?
Yeah. She can just like mid lane wave and land with lantern.
Saya is going bot. So now the game is Syndra stands here, takes this, you lantern her. She takes the wave. You guys go together, help Saya. You place wards. As you're going, you maybe place one ward here.
Yeah.
You want to try to keep some wards when you're warding like that. Because maybe Echo has sweeper, maybe Echo plays a pink here. But when you're walking to somewhere, you want wards behind you. You want some sort of vision behind you. Yep. Because you need to know if you're getting flanked on your return. So if I'm you, then right now, here I would walk up and I would take the next wave with Syndra. And then I would place wards in a way where they don't see it. So I would place a ward here because I want to see them walk here and here. And I would place a ward over here. Then I have still 2 wards. I would probably keep them. And I would allow Saya to push. Saya connects to us. And then we can start to place our older wards. Maybe this gets removed. We place one over here. You know? Then I know if they're behind me. Because now the problem is, you guys gave mid-wave. And now Echo can come behind you, or he could go for tier 2 mid. And it's unplayable. Imagine being Belvet in this situation, and she had the choice to go here, or here. She is forced to go here, because she has to assume Echo could go there.
Yeah.
But Echo could just be here now.
I should just spam ping Syndra to go on mid-wave with lantern.
Yeah, well, it should also be body language too. Like, what I mean by that is, you should here, like, ping the push ping like this, and you should move forward and ping on my way. And ping him. And ping your W. Because people are more, like, inclined to do it when you're also, like, doing it, you know?
Yeah. And, like, it makes me really vulnerable. Like, I'm face checking. I mean, there could be... Okay, I saw bot top lane.
Yeah,
I think
of course,
it was later.
Here you saw him, like, after this. But you didn't here.
Yeah.
Like, now you have no idea.
I'm just running around alone. Yeah, now it's really cringe. Like,
Yeah.
I think this was like the first real major mistake.
And I think, like, here, when he does this, he should get perma-CC'd by Saya.
Yeah, I
But
thought
then they
it's
run out.
winning, but they were really scared of Echo
Yes.
W.
Yes. I don't think they need to be when he is on you. So I don't
But
think this is as
I don't
bad as
think
you
I have to flash out that fast as well.
Like, this looks bad, but from my perspective, I'm thinking if he goes on me, there's a Saya behind me free firing, you know? Like, this is a very good spot to fight with Saya in, because there's big feathers, like, everywhere in the choke, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't
And
really,
Syndra as well.
like, you said this was bad, but as long as you know you have teammates behind you, I don't think it's bad. Because Echo
Yeah,
can never
in the
kill
moment
you.
I took the fight, I thought it's winning.
Yeah, it is winning. I think your teammates
But-
just played it bad. You flayed the guy out. Like, you played it good. You flayed him out of his W and your team is just leaving. This guy's R should be insta-forced and then you don't need to flash.
Nah, I really don't have to flash because if they keep fighting like Syndra is there now.
Yes, yes.
I don't think I can go over.
No. You will die. You don't need to. You just get dragon.
Yeah.
I would just recall. Yeah.
I didn't see Beveth and Ring, yes. True.
So now it kind of begins what I was saying before. Like now this starts where, if you look at tab, Renekton, Gwen. At this point, Gwen now will start to become a champion. Especially
Yep.
once you get Snatchers. And Nocturne and Echo now will start their split pushing and making picks. And now you guys have 2 Drakes. And this is what I was talking about at the start of the session where Drake is up in 4 minutes. And now it will feel kind of painful because it's kind of like, okay, well, what do we do? Because we don't really win on side lane. So obvious gameplay here would be if we win on side lane, oh, we just push here, we go and take this. But the thing is, Syndra walks to here now, dead.
Yeah.
Echo Nocturne will kill her. So we need to get mid push, and then we need to go top. You know?
Yeah.
As 4.
We just overload top stage.
Yes. So on this wave, Belloc is farming, which is fine. So then we should not bother with this wave. So now your job is to hover Syndra. If we're not going on this wave, you should not be here. You should be here, between both. You know? And you need to prepare for the overload on top. Right?
Yeah.
So get some vision, remove some vision, and get ready to lantern her over to you and Belvet. Once Belvet's done farming, then we go together. And if Syndra goes and catches one wave here, then you can hover her lantern, bring her over around mid, and then you guys hard push mid, next one, and then you can go side lane, you know?
Yeah, we always bounce in between
Yes.
those 2 lanes.
Yes. Because now here, there's no vision, nothing, and now you guys are completely split apart, and so is Belvet.
And
Like,
no
why
one
are
can
you on
join.
the wave? What's the point of this?
Yeah.
You should just be between everyone. So now Syndra's vulnerable, and so are you, and you didn't get mid push, so what's the point then? Like, if you're gonna get mid push, then it makes sense that you're mid. But we are late on the mid wave. See?
Yeah.
So we are giving this wave. So now your job is not to be mid. Your job is to hover Syndra so that at least she can push. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You hover here,
And
you go here, lantern her out, because there's no point. This doesn't do anything. Having Vayne, kill the wave, and then you guys respond. That's not having push. Because you guys can't rotate like this now.
No.
You have to rotate like this. You can't go like this to top, because by the time you get here, the new wave will spawn and get to mid. So then it becomes, you guys get this, but they get this. That's not worth it. So yeah, just realize, okay, this is not our mid wave. We are late. See?
Yeah.
We are late. See, I'm not in the lane, because the wave is here. For us to get mid push, I would need to be like here now, so that we can walk up.
Yeah.
So Saya can stand here. But since I'm late and Belvet wants to farm, then you need to realize that next mid wave we will go for. So then at least we can get side push with Belvet, Fresh, and Syndra.
Yeah.
So then Syndra, after removing this wave with you behind her, then she can come to mid, right?
Yeah.
And then you can fight that way.
Yeah. And I mean, Xayah with ultimate like she's fine. Like Syndra is way more vulnerable.
So like here, when Xayah bases, then she must have a good item, because this is really cringe for the game. Because the game now, this is push. Like when I said to go for mid push, this is kind of push, you know? Like, ideally it's here, but this is good. Because now Vayne has to spend a lot of time to kill this, right? And we killed the wave way before it even spawned. So when my AD carry is basing here, and especially in like pro play, something you should work with your team, it really sucks when people base right now. Because now
it's our turn to do something on the map.
Yes, you guys should have full control top side, their herald should be wasted, we should look to push out top and go for tier 1 top, or at least vision to then go tier 1 on next wave. But then we have to abandon it, because an item. So I hope this item is good.
Yeah.
So for solo queue, that's kind of hard to communicate with your ADC, but it's still an important concept to know. You know, like if this guy has a mythic item, right? Sure, it can be fine, but you know, like if you're hard winning the game, I still wouldn't base for mythic there. You know?
Yeah.
I'd rather just win the game and get top camps and get control, because now you'll see how shit the game is.
Yeah.
See, it's
because now they've taken entire top side.
Yes. Now they can take your top camps. You can't retake because we can't just enter, and they're all in your top side because they go top and mid push. And that happens because Xayah bases. So that's why I'm saying that often the item doesn't actually matter compared to the control.
Yeah.
But then again, you need to make sure that your wards are matching the shit timer from her. So that's a mistake too, that when you realize here that she's basing, right, then you should either drop your wards and recall or not drop your wards. So if you're going to do this and ward, then recall. Because we can't have it now. Because do you see how it keeps cycling? How we
are always desynced.
Yes, we can't play the game here because Belvet wants to farm, which is fine. Okay, he needs to farm. Okay, like imagine we have a checklist of things that needs to be done before we can play, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Belvet needs to farm. Okay, fine. All right, I'll allow it. Right, it makes sense. It needs to farm. Okay, Xayah needs her item. Okay, whatever. Right, she can have her item. Okay. But now, Fresh needs his wards. Jesus. So now when all of that is done, then Belvet needs to farm again. It's unplayable, right? So you gotta make sure that when things happen that makes you not play the game, then at least finish like your fucking dishes, you know? Like you clean the house. So it's done. Finish your homework now. Go recall. Place the wards so Syndra is fine, and then you recall. Because we're not playing the game here with Xayah and base. Especially not this game, where like Syndra is not so strong, you know?
Yeah.
Because this is super bad. Like now you have no wards. You walk up here, no wards. I told you they want to flank you, and you have no wards. I like to ping my W cooldown. I think it's good for people to know your overall cooldown.
Yeah. Because
yeah, like this whole timer here got fucked because all of this just AFKing. Nice, good going for Bard instead of the Vayne with Tumble. Keep in mind Echo. I think you should have went to find Echo.
I don't see shit right now again on Discord stream. Okay, now it's fixed. Okay, now it's fixed.
Okay, so watch this, right? So, because the thing is, again, I'm telling you perma, but I'll tell you more. Flanks this game is how you will lose.
Yeah.
Echo's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we have.
You have to do this quick, right? It's a fast
until he arrives. Yes.
So why aren't you leaving wards behind you? That's first thing. Why aren't you dropping wards behind you?
We kinda have the ward.
No, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't do anything. Like that doesn't tell us if it goes here, here, here. It tells us nothing.
Yeah.
Because we also don't want to play safe just because he's somewhere inside of this.
Yeah.
You had the option to know exactly where he's coming.
Yeah.
You know Echo is topside. So you know here, if I'm fighting mid, Echo has two choices. Flank us, or go for this. Only options he has. If he recalls, he's trolling. He either joins the fight through a flank, or he says the fight is lost, and he gets a tower for himself. That's the only options he has. So you need to register that, And by knowing that, we take a fight on mid, there should be wards dropped behind us.
Mm.
And then afterwards, you do a really good hook on Bard, because Vayne has tumble and you shouldn't assume that it'll hit her. So you go on him, makes sense. But I do think here you're completely griefing, because now you drop the rule of we can't get Vayne. So now you keep going on Vayne and trying to hook her here. I know she got stunned, but come on, this is way too late.
Yeah.
So now by doing this, you're baiting your team too. Whereas I feel like you should be starting to think of Echo and running towards Echo and trying to hook him, you know?
And spot him, like,
yes, and
spot
him
play
where
some
he is.
wards now. Yeah.
But you're not thinking about Echo at all.
No. Totally dropped
And
that.
then now you are not in a lantern position as well. So like, again, like I said before, I think Fresh is not an engaged champ. And every engage that Fresh has done in his life is a montage play, you know? It's not real. It's so unlikely.
I would agree with that.
It's so unlikely. So like, I'm here to play for like a fast pick. You know?
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Oh, you don't even hear my dog? Okay.
Oh, not a little bit, but
I'm sorry.
I don't care. It's fine. Like, we're here to make a quick pick. Again, we don't have like hardcore engage on our team. So like right here, like we killed Nocturne. Shutdown. Great.
Yeah.
There's a Vayne. You need to treat Vayne equals Seri. If Seri pops her ult, what do you do?
We run it. I mean, backwards.
Backwards. We run it backwards, yes, not forward. Yes. So Vayne is Seri. When you see Vayne tumble here and ult, you click away.
Yeah.
You don't have Rice Root. You don't have Lissandra R. What are you doing trying to, like, walk up on her? Just leave. Because here, if Syndra went for this greedy stun, imagine you're here. You can lantern out of Bard ult, right?
Yeah.
And you can kite back. That is your job. That is what your champion does.
Yeah.
Your Syndra looks for picks, not you. You follow up with hook. You don't engage with hook. You don't try to walk up like this. You can't follow up on Syndra stun when you are so far away like that and have creeps between you, right? Look, you click on Vayne here. It's too late, right?
Yeah.
So you could realize that and then just be like, okay, I'll just play to lantern back. And in general, like I said before, Echo's coming on a flank, so why are we extending the fight anyways? You know?
Yeah.
Because it was already huge. Just landing hook on Bard and killing Nocturne. That was great. You know?
Yeah.
Because yeah, it ended up quite well. But this is how you would lose. If Vayne just dodged that one hook at the end, you guys would get aced. And then you would lose Nash, you know?
Yeah.
What are you building, by the way? Redemption or?
Yeah, I
or?
think... No, I'm going Redemption.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Redemption is fine. Like, I would go Redemption or Night's Vow.
Yes, like, those are... I'm always building the same items. Like, it's either Locket or Radiant if I have the money. If I get some kills or assists in laning phase.
Yeah, it's also nice if they have a lot of threat on you.
Yeah.
Radiant is nice, so you're tanky. And, like, some games, Locket is kind of, like, useless item. Like, if your team is, like, really tanky or enemy team doesn't have much, like, AoE or threat on your team, then Locket is kind of shit, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I have some games where I build Shurelia still, like with Udia Vladimir. For some reason, I have a couple of Volibear top lanes right now. Like, with all this shit, I'm going Shurelia.
If I don't run at them, then yeah.
Yeah.
But I would also not want to play Fresh in those games. But yeah, if you blind picked him and you end up in a game like that, then yeah, Shurelia can work, yeah. I mean, here, nothing changed. Like I said before, like, we should just want to get deep mid push and then hover on sides. Like, here, I would start to ask myself, like, how do we respond to Gwen now if she just AFK spot? Because if enemy team is good right now, they have Echo spawning and he might have TP. And if he has TP, they could legit go free people bot here. So, when Renekton bases, then I think it's important you guys push mid and you allow him to push out bot. Because if he is stuck here versus Gwen, and then you guys go mid, why can't Nocturne just be here and ult the Renekton with Gwen?
Yeah, and they get inhib, like, before we can do anything.
Yes. So that's what I'm thinking now.
And
so yeah, like here, it's fine to go for this because you see it already. But again, my mindset is to get mid-wave here with Saya. So I don't know why you guys are standing here now when they're not fighting Velvet now. Because I would have my Saya want here. Like, I want her here and just push. Because I can still stand here.
I need to ping her way more.
Yeah, like I told you, right? They will go hard on side here. They have to.
Yeah.
That's the play they should go for. And again, like when you're doing this, why is there no wards here, here, here? Right?
Yeah.
Like it's so unplayable. Because just because there's nobody here now, that doesn't mean that when you blast gone over, that they're not going to be there after, right? And I know there's this ward here, but they can hug this wall.
Yeah. And they have bar journey as well, like to do some crazy routes. And like if we would have pushed the mid wave before, like Wayne couldn't even threaten tier 2 right now.
Yeah.
Syndra was pushing mid alone.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't even move. Like, I think we should just realize she's dead and we can take tier 3 here.
Yes. Saving her and then losing the chance of getting turret doesn't matter. You know?
Yeah.
Because if you went to mid, if you all went to mid to save her, then you would get nothing. So it's better to let her die and get something.
Yeah.
And here, just run. Like I said before, Vayne is Seri.
Oh my god, holy fuck. Yeah, I remember that. I totally forgot this is in this game. Yeah, we do not talk. We play back and we are not engaging.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine, we can win.
No, it's fine, we can win.
we can still win, guys.
I forgot that this was in this game.
That was kind of Yellow Star moment, actually.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, right now, I would just ask myself, like, who is the most important to peel on my team, and, like, how do I want to use my spells, like, who do I want to hook and stuff? Because you'll have a Vayne running at your team, you'll have an Echo running at your team, a Nocturne running at your team, you know? And a Gwen. And in my opinion, like, if you CC Echo, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
You know? Because even if you CC Nocturne, he might not even die. That guy's Maw, he's so tanky, and he deals less damage than Echo.
Yeah.
But his Echo is super squishy, no Hourglass. Look Gwen, she has Hourglass, right? So,
yeah.
My biggest problem, in my opinion, is Echo.
Yeah.
If you just make him even, like, ulti, that's already big.
Yeah.
So, you can look for a quick fight now if you want, but eventually we have to deal with top wave. So right now, I would look for a quick team fight. Now, again, of course, you can't engage, but I would want my team to, like, ego and try to bait something.
Yeah, and we can play back with Lantern and bait them in.
Yes, because if we can fight now and kill 1 or 2 people, then we can defend top in it for free. So, like, I don't like when people are running away from this wave, because then, like, what are we doing? Why are we afraid of this mid wave when Gwen is here? Top
Especially, we see entire enemy team on Nashor.
Yeah. So, like, you're pinging now, but, like, it's so too late now.
Yeah.
Like, I would be pinging here to, like, we need to push. Because, like, this is worthless again. Because now if you kill a wave now, then it's so late again, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, right now, I would stop going here. I think you guys are trolling. Now they will just end the game. If you guys keep standing here now, then they can just end the game on top. And also here, the last thing you want now, you don't want the fight to happen now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told you before. Like, I feel so pressured and I didn't really know what to do before. Like, I'm trying to force anything.
Like, if I was Bard here, I would ult you.
Yeah. Same.
Because if they force a fight now, then Gwen and Echo can just end the game top, for example. Your team can't afford to help you now. If your team turns to help you, Gwen can fight Renekton and kill him. So, you don't want the fight to happen now. You want to do that exact maneuver, like now, you know? Like now, you can push and then do it. That would be fine. Like imagine here, right? Now you push, and then you guys walk up as 5 on this wave, and then place the wards, and then your team goes and like clears top. That could work after we take mid wave. But doing it now makes no sense.
Way too late. Yeah.
If you give enemy team a fight now, your team has only bad decisions to make.
And this is why I'm trying to force now. Because I knew Bart doesn't have ult, so he can't proc Radiant, and I'm trying to fight.
Yeah.
To prevent like them from end. Because I know Renekton is TP. And I'm just trying to force.
Yeah, but
and I think it was just free pick, but it wasn't.
After you use your spells like this, right? Watch. Your champion can't do anything, right? Afterwards. Yeah. And this bush, again, like I said, you have no pink, no ward in it.
And this is like the free flank in our backline.
This is like the 6th time this happens. So to me, it's really obvious that you understand this, but you don't realize this is happening, this flank is happening. You fail to recognize this in every single situation. Because yeah, you can hook Bard, but this guy is omega tanky and takes a long time to kill, and by the time you kill him, your whole team will stand in the choke and get echo W'd, right? So you need to have vision here, because this is unplayable for your team. Like, I know Echo in this case is here, but how do you know Echo wouldn't go there? A better Echo player would be here. Right? So.
Yeah.
Obviously, Redemption was late. But yeah.
Yeah. I had it on wrong
The
on
biggest
wrong
problem
slot.
is just lack of vision there. And I think, in general, like, you as a player, like, you should go into this matchup with tons of confidence, you know, like, you should want to win the 2v2, but you are playing as if you're gonna lose, you know? You are not, like, Vayne is so short range auto, Fresh is, like, basically a range champ, and you benefit a lot from trading one auto for one auto, you know? And you're, like, kind of never doing it. And then you don't recognize what enemy team is actually gonna do, like, just in general, like, you don't recognize Echo's timers or his situation, or the situation in mid in general, and then you don't recognize their situation on side lane, like, if he's gonna flank us here, if I go on mid fight, I need to know, like, do I have 15 seconds of safe fighting until I have to retreat? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I told you, like, from looking at the draft, right, that's how it's gonna be, and that's how it's gonna be, like, I know it's a master game, but the thing is, like, it's League of Legends, right? An Echo that is fucking silver will still want to, like, dive your backline and flank.
Yep.
So, I think that's something you must recognize, and, like, kind of understanding, like, what needs to happen before we can play the game. Like, Belvet wants to farm, and then Saya wants to recall for item for some reason. Okay, well then, what can I do? Well, I can drop my wards and recall, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I can hover Syndra in the meantime. Right? If Belvet is farming, she's farming topside, that can allow me to hover Syndra. What if Echo jumped on Syndra when she went top? You being there could be a great way to win the game, right?
Yeah.
You could hook him from fog and then he dies. But I feel like these things you don't think about. So, I would, like, write those things down if I was you and try to work on those in every solo queue game. Like, I would try to, like, one way you could do it is, like, the first 10-15 minutes of the game is usually laning, right?
Yeah.
You can then, during laning, work on understanding, okay, what is mid situation, and how do we play our 2v2? Like, when do we win, when do we lose, what do I need to do, right?
Yeah.
Then you would also recognize things like, I can't queue for a Vayne Tumble, that's kind of troll, unless I'm doing it on purpose, right? And then after that, 20 plus minutes, then you gotta start to think about, how will teamfights play out? What does enemy team need from the teamfights?
And how can I deny
flank
it?
us? Like, is it important we kite back here, or can I play more frontline? Like, sometimes Fresh can frontline, and it's not bad, but this game, if you frontline, you can't lantern your team. Being able to lantern your team when they outrange and enemy must dive in is really important.
Yeah.
But you were very often in positions where you couldn't lantern, even when you went and hooked Bard while your team is getting flanked. Yes, you hooked Bard, congrats, now your whole team was dead. Right? So, understanding that job, you have Syndra, you have Saya, you have Jinx, you have Seraph. These type of champs, they will not enjoy if you play the way you did, you know?
Yeah.
At least versus this team. If the enemy team has, like, less dive, then yeah, you can be more, like, front. Just understand you're disabling your W by being frontline as Fresh.
This was, like, the perfect Thresh game, if played correctly.
Yeah, it was
and
really
I think I griefed it in every single fight.
Yeah. Like, the thing, like, with the other disengaged champs I said, right? They're bad versus Bard. Like, Braum is not good versus Bard. Alistar and Renata, it's not good versus Bard. But Fresh is. Fresh is, like, the only disengaged champion in the game that is good versus Bard. So it's, like, perfect Fresh game, yeah. So, like I said, I recorded all of this for you. I'll upload it and send it to you when it's up, just so that you have it.
Thanks a lot. And then I will take some notes and try to work on these things. I mean, there's a lot to
no
do,
problem, man.
Obviously.
And yeah, I mean, we can do this later, whenever you feel, like, ready, you know? And yeah. All right.
Okay, thanks a lot for your
questions?
time. I mean, do I have any questions? I think not really. Like, most of the things were like pretty straightforward and pretty obvious now when you look over it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have questions later,
I will
like
just...
maybe you have some when you rewatch, and you can just message me.
Yeah, we'll do that. Thanks.
And just let me know when you feel ready for next one.
Yeah, I will just
Right.
rewatch your VOD like off stream and take some notes. And if anything comes
Yeah.
up, I will let you know.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
See you, man.
Thanks a
Good
lot.
luck.
See you, man. Bye bye.